Morning. It's way too early to be up, and my pets do not believe in a time. They just believe in food. Taylor Swift is over here sitting on the counter. Would you like to say hello, Taylor? This is Taylor Swift, my recent rescue from an animal shelter. And then that is Annabelle lounging on the floor. It's those two that don't have the belief that they should sleep. My two pugs, who I just put outside, will be back in momentarily. They would sleep all day, every day, if you would let them. Don't try to hit me. She's particularly feisty. She's getting over her spay surgery, and yeah. So one video I haven't done on this channel is in the morning when I get up. The vitamin regimen that I have started since having COVID-19. Ma'am, she's very chatty. And the vitamin regimen is pretty serious, and it keeps expanding. But that's because they keep finding, I say they, me and my research, keeps finding new things that will help with the root of the issue of all this, which is inflammation. And so that combined with the chronic fatigue, I have added a couple of new ones, and I'm not saying this is a cure by any means, but the ones that I've added, this is Thursday. Since Saturday, I have been able to get up every day. I've been able to work at some point now. Yesterday, I did spike a pretty significant fever, but that was because I drove a distance that was too far the day before. So without further ado, let's go down the list. I take this huge one, which is calcium, magnesium, and zinc, all thrown into one. I take more zinc, we'll get into that. This is the newest one that I have added, turmeric. I didn't know a lot about turmeric until I started researching it, and then I figured out that it supports and helps with inflammation. It also helps with cardiac health, and since cardiac health is an issue with COVID and after the COVID vaccine sometimes, threw that in for good measure. I was taking vitamin D, and then after more research, hopped it up to the D3. This is the 5,000 dose. So I take 3 of those because you're meant to take at least 15,000. B100, and the vitamin D, the vitamin B, and then I add regular zinc, just another 50 milligrams on top of that. I take those twice a day. For fun, I take just a regular women's multivitamin. People are like, Lisa, that's too many vitamins. One thing I learned when I was working in the ER, because I worked with some amazing nurses, here comes the pugs, was that taking too many vitamins, essentially, there's no nice way to say this, all your body is going to do is pee them out if it doesn't absorb them. Seriously. The one that I just ordered, oh, one more thing. I wake up with stomach issues every day, so Pepsid AC was the other recommended thing. Works marvelously. So that. Now this is by prescription. Most doctors will give this because it's not anything, it's not a controlled substance, anything. Visceral, hydroxyzine, whatever you want to call it. Because I was having so much trouble with itching and I was having to take Benadryl around the clock. Not a good thing. The other thing, liquid IV, liquid IV, liquid IV. Electrolytes are a huge thing with this because of the neurological response, and this stuff has saved me on multiple times because my stomach is so upset all the time because I'm always nauseous that even drinking Gatorade is difficult for me to do. So I keep liquid IV on hand all the time. Now I'm careful with it because there's a lot of potassium in it. Taylor, quit hitting the dogs. And you don't want to get too much potassium overload in there. But I can tell, I always drink one first thing in the morning because you're always dehydrated when you wake up. I learned that back when I was doing personal training. You're always dehydrated when you wake up. So I always down one first thing in the morning, and I will usually within minutes feel improvement. So I swear by those things. Now, I've always drank protein shakes because of the fitness person in me. Some people are like, oh, they're disgusting. Well, some of the ones you buy pre-made are. You can buy your own protein powder and make them easily. You can make different little treats you can keep in your refrigerator out of protein powder. As soon as the protein powder I ordered comes in, I'll show you how to do that. There's several forms of the liquid IV, going back to that. There is the one that I'm drinking right now, that's the immune support. I happen to get that one, just taste preference. The regular one that's not the immune support, there's watermelon, passion fruit, guava, lemon lime, there's a lot. I love this tangerine one. So, yes, it's expensive if you just buy it at a store like Walmart or something else. You can get a better deal on pricing at Amazon and things. But I've found one first thing in the morning really helps. The protein shakes, I've never been a huge fan of super high protein, low carb diets. I don't think that diet is for everyone, but I think people who are trying to get over what we're getting over, the evidence is there. So yeah, I'm gonna try to log into my Amazon and see what the other 2 vitamins I ordered were. I pride myself on my medical knowledge, but I'm not gonna lie when I say that when I found these 2, I couldn't even pronounce them, and I'm okay with learning things. One of them was like CoQ10 or something, Qsorb Q10, and this one is Qcertin, I think. Qcertin is, again, for cardiovascular health, and this is, again, an anti-inflammatory response. There was a comment on one of these that was a review from a scientist. Here it is. I'm a scientist by trade, and clinical data is what I use to make decisions. While there's only preclinical data on this product, I'm using it along with 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C, 100 milligrams of zinc daily, not only for its anti-inflammatory prevention, but as an adjunctive therapy for seasonal allergies, pollen, mold spores. In my case, with all the rain elevation we have in Hawaii, must be nice, helps tremendously. I can't and won't make any claims as to being able to inhibit the protein spike of COVID from entering cells, but it does upregulate zinc very well as an adjunctive therapy for me and works well with my vitamin regimen. Basically what he said in that comment is, I'm going to post this because if he is in fact a scientist, he does know what he's talking about. There are multiple other people who posted that they were advised to take this when they had COVID as an anti-inflammatory response. You can't find this stuff in the doctor's office. Me working in healthcare, I've now just had this theory. They don't want you to find this stuff. A well patient is a patient that they're not profiting off anymore. I love my doctor. I love all the doctors and people that I work with. there is a necessity for what I do. There's a necessity for emergency medicine, but there's also an overload of things. Like, for instance, if I showed you the rest of my medicine basket, now one of these is an antidepressant. Okay, yeah, I've needed that because I work in healthcare, been through a lot over the past year. The rest of the medicines that are in here, now a lot of them are gone because I pulled myself off them with the guidance and permission of my doctor, because I said, if I don't need this, I'm not going to take it. I'm just not. But this basket was full of prescription medication. I had no problem with that though, because growing up I had a mom, and I still do have a mom with the same size medicine basket, except hers is actually larger. In my bedroom, I had, I think, 5 prescription pills to go to sleep at night because I have insomnia. And one of them, you know, you just trust people to give you things because you trust physicians. One of them was an antipsychotic. Do a little research on that because it alters your brain. It also makes you feel terrible. Those medicines that I was on were making me feel terrible. And I said, you know, I'm 40 years old. I'm sick of feeling, I already feel bad right now. I'm sick of this. The fact that it's 5 in the morning and I'm up and talking is a huge improvement even from a week ago. So I'm not saying this is a miracle cure. I'm not saying it will cure everybody. I'm saying vitamins, natural things, I think are far more likely to help you in this situation than anything a doctor could give you. And also, they can't give you anything because there isn't anything. What is this other thing that we ordered? Q-Sorb CoQ10, another supports heart health. And one of the reasons I ordered this is because there was talk, not much talk, for a while that what I might have been going through wasn't chronic fatigue, and it was actually myocarditis. And, you know, I couldn't get a cardiology referral. I don't know. I just couldn't get any help as far as that goes. So I know supplements and whatnot are not regulated by the FDA. You know, it's not regulated by the FDA. A lot of other things that are going on. And there's a lot of people out here like me, like several of my friends who are suffering tremendously. I have a friend, Tracy, whose condition is far worse than I am. Her legs, she woke up one day covered in bruises. She honestly looked like she had leukemia. She has a rash from head to toe, which I woke up with a mystery rash yesterday. All these are just random things. She went to a rheumatologist. The rheumatologist denied her. A rheumatologist, the ones who test for autoimmune conditions, which is what they have said, you know, I might be going through. And my doctor wonders why I said no to a consult with rheumatology. I said all that poking and prodding for them to come up with no definitive diagnosis and no treatment. And no, thank you. And then confirmation comes when my friend Tracy goes and she's denied. They tell her they've never seen anything like this. They have no idea what to do with it. And they sent her home and they said, we will refer you to the Mayo Clinic. She's so discouraged, but she somehow manages to keep her faith up. She has a tremendous support system, so thank goodness for that. I hope if you don't have a support system, you get one. Follow me. I'll be your support system. I'm allowed to work during the day, but then I'm stuck at home at night and can't do anything else. But for a rheumatologist, who, those are some of the most intelligent doctors walking around, to just take a look at you and say, I'm not touching this, pretty telling for me. I've worked around a lot of doctors in my time. My mom was the director of medical records when I was growing up. So I was always around hospitals and I was always around doctors. I'm still shocked that they just said, no, we're not even going to consider this. But they did. So I'll say all that to say, chronic fatigue, I know, has flare-ups, and I know it has points in times when people get better. Maybe this is just one of those points in times, but since Saturday, I have been able to get up. On Sunday, I was able to do loads of laundry that have needed to be done forever. I have been able to work, although that is still tiring because I drive 200 to 300 miles a day. That is no joke. And tiring. And tired from driving like that is nothing like I can explain. Now, this mystery rash that I woke up yesterday with, that was all on my hairline and was coming down my face and was under one of my, like, I don't know where that came from. I wake up with a new mystery symptom every day. And I've learned to just kind of ride it out and not question it and see where it goes. But that's my vitamin regimen. I've added the 2. I'll make a video update after the 2 come in. I'll also make an update about the protein powder, the protein shakes, and the snack you can make for that. And if you have any questions, let me know, and have a good day.